Hi, I'm Melissa. Welcome to Gentle Yoga and Wellness. Please make sure to subscribe so I can continue to post 3 new yoga videos each week. Today, I have a Yin-inspired yoga class. Yin Yoga is great for improving your flexibility. If you already subscribe to my channel, you may recognize some of these Yin Yoga poses because I incorporate a lot of Yin Yoga into my regular classes. Okay, let's get started. Today we're going to start by sitting in Hero's Pose. So I get a lot of questions about alternatives to sitting cross-legged. Some people are tight in their inner thighs and hips, and sitting cross-legged just doesn't work for their body. So Hero's Pose is a great alternative. To sit in Hero's Pose, you'll want to sit on your legs with your knees facing forward. You're welcome to sit on a block. You can take your block, place it on the lowest setting, and just place your block underneath your sit bones. Another alternative for a little bit more support would be to use a bolster. So I'll show you what that looks like. If you have a bolster or a pillow, you can take your bolster and again, just put it underneath your sit bones. So on a bolster, you're gonna be sitting up a little bit higher. Okay, get in position either on a block or bolster. Start to roll your shoulders back and lift through your chest. Sit up tall. Think about lengthening through your spine. Begin to take your arms to a 90-degree angle. So you're gonna bend your elbows. I call these robot arms. And you'll take your right arm underneath your left arm. Begin to cross your arms and push the palms of your hands together for eagle arms. If eagle arms are not working in your body, you can always just take your arms to a 90-degree angle and then push the palms of your hands together. That's a great alternative. Okay, so pick your position, either eagle arms or just pushing the palms of your hands together. And then on your next inhale, start to lift your elbows up to the sky and take your gaze up. As you exhale, you're gonna bring your arms down and hinge forward from your hips. We'll do that again. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Take your gaze up. Exhale, lower the elbows and begin to hinge forward. Let's flow here with our breath. Take a deep breath in and rise. Exhale and slowly bend forward. We'll do that one more time. Inhale and reach. And then exhale, slowly release. Good, let's come back up to a neutral spine. Go ahead and unwrap your arms. Relax your arms down to the sides of your body. Take your right hand to your mat and then begin to reach overhead with your left arm. Come into a side body stretch. We'll just hold the side stretch here for a moment. Really think about lengthening through your side body. Good, find your breath, breathe into the stretch. Take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, relax your left hand. Take your left hand on the outside of your right thigh. We're going to come into a seated spinal twist in Hero's Pose. So begin to sit up tall, and then very slowly take your gaze over to the right. Start to bring your focus and your awareness to your breath. Take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, unwind and return to center. We'll do a few shoulder shrugs here. So start to take your shoulders up, back, and down. And then do that again. Take your shoulders up, back, and down. And just continue the circular motion with your shoulders. Think about relaxing and releasing your shoulders. Good. You can just pause here, relax the shoulders down, and sit up tall. Once again, begin to take your arms to a 90-degree angle. Come back to those robot arms. So remember, you can either come to eagle arms or you can just push the palms of your hands together. Either option is great. If you're coming to eagle arms, this time we'll take our left arm underneath, begin to cross your arms, and then push the palms of your hands together. Once your arms are in position, we'll flow here with our breath. So begin to take an inhale, lift your elbows up towards the sky. Take your gaze up. As you exhale, lower the arms and hinge forward from the waist. Inhale, lift the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, slowly lower the arms and hinge forward. Good, we'll do that 2 more times. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and slowly release. Once more, inhale, lift the elbows, take the gaze up. Exhale, lower the arms and bend forward from the waist. Good, you can return to a neutral spine. Slowly unwrap your arms and relax your arms down to the sides of your body. Take your left arm to your mat, your left hand to your mat, and then reach overhead with your right arm. So we're coming into that side body stretch now on the opposite side. And really think about lengthening through your side body. So we're just going to pause here for a moment in the stretch. Good, let's take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, you can take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. We'll come into that seated spinal twist in hero's pose, now on the opposite side. So begin to sit up tall. And then once you're ready, slowly rotate and take your gaze over to the left. Once again, find your breath. And just notice how your breath feels in your body today. Take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, slowly unwind and return to center. We're going to do one more round of shoulder shrugs. So begin to take your shoulders up, back, and down. And then do that again. Take your shoulders up, back, and down. We'll do that a couple more times. So just relax and release those shoulders. Good. Once more, take the shoulders up, back, and down. Great job. If you're using a bolster or block, you can go ahead and remove your bolster or block and set it off to the side. Begin to come up to tabletop position. So you want to come onto your hands and your knees. And in tabletop position, just take a moment to make sure that your knees are stacked under your hips and make sure that your wrists are stacked under your shoulders. Spread your fingertips out wide and take your gaze in front of you. We're going to do some cat-cows here to warm up through the spine. On your next inhale, begin to lift your chest and take your gaze slightly up. As you exhale, round your back and take your gaze inward. Inhale, lift the chest and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, begin to round the back. Inhale, rise, come to cow pose. Exhale, release, come to cat pose. Once more, deep breath in, lift through the chest. Exhale, round through the back. Good, you can return to a neutral spine. From tabletop pose, begin to curl both of your feet underneath. So you're curling your toes underneath you. Once your toes are curled underneath, start to sit your hips back so that you're sitting on your feet. This pose is called toe squat. Toe squat is great for increasing flexibility. It stretches the fascia that run through your feet all the way up your legs. Okay, once you're in toe squat, let's take our gaze forward, roll our shoulders back, and lift our chest. You can place your fingertips on your mat for a little bit of support. Slowly begin to rotate your head and take your gaze over to the right, coming into a gentle neck stretch here. Good. Once you're ready, begin to rotate your head and look over to the left. Just pause here for a moment. You can bring your gaze back to center. From toe squat pose, we'll come to puppy dog. So puppy dog looks like this. You'll want to reach both of your hands to the top of the mat. Begin to lift your hips slightly. Take your forehead close to the mat. If it doesn't reach all the way to the earth, that's okay. Just come as close as it's comfortable for you. You really want to reach forward with the arms and lift the hips. Once you're ready, very slowly rise and come back up to tabletop position. So you're coming back to your hands and your knees. You can uncurl your toes, and then we're gonna come into lizard pose. So lizard is a really great Yin Yoga hip opener. So from tabletop, you can start to rise up onto your knees. So you're standing up tall on your knees, and then take your left foot forward. Start to angle your left foot out at a 45-degree angle, so it's pointing towards the corner of your mat. From here, you'll take both of your arms to the inside of your left foot. You can lengthen your right leg a little bit for a deeper stretch if that feels good in your body. I'm going to show you a couple options here with blocks. So if this is feeling too intense or it's hard to get your hands down to the mat, if you're using yoga blocks today, you can either put your yoga blocks on the lowest setting and place your hands on the blocks. That's a great option. You could also take them on the medium setting for a little bit more height, or you can even go to the tallest setting. And then if you're in the tallest setting, you'll want to lift your chest here. Okay, so find the position for your hands that feels good either on your mat or on some yoga blocks. And find the setting that feels good in your body. If your hands are on the mat or on a lower setting on the blocks, you want to take your gaze down to the earth. Just relax your head and neck. Start to send your breath into your inner thighs and hips. Think about using your breath to begin to relax and release any tension, any tightness that you're holding in the hips today. Good, let's take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, you'll take your left leg to meet your right leg and come back to tabletop position. So just come back to your hands and knees. In tabletop pose, begin to gently sway your hips from side to side. We're just going to take a moment to release from our lizard Yin Yoga pose. Good, so gently sway those hips. You can add some shoulders. Gently sway your head from side to side. Just finding a little bit of organic movement here. Once you feel complete, you can pause here in tabletop position. Next, we'll come to high plank pose. So for high plank pose, start to reach your hands a little bit closer to the top of the mat. You want to curl your toes under and then lift your legs off of the mat. You're using your core and abdominals to balance here in high plank pose. If this is too intense in your body, you're always welcome to lower the knees. That's a great option. So find your level that feels good to you, either with your knees down or with your legs off of the mat. And let's take a few breaths here. You may feel some heat in the body. We're really starting to move that energy and prana as we engage the core. Let's take one more inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lower both of your knees down to the mat. Start to lower yourself onto your forearms. You're going to come down to your stomach. And then you're going to bend your elbows and place your forearms on your mat. Place the palms of your hands on your mat. Start to squeeze your shoulder blades together to lift your chest. You're pushing the tops of your feet down to the earth. And this is sphinx pose. So in sphinx pose, we're coming into a gentle back bend. Just continue to breathe here into the sphinx pose. Let's take one more inhale. As you exhale, you're going to stack up your forearms on top of each other. Once your arms are in position, start to relax your forehead down on top of your arms. Once you're ready, begin to push yourself back to child's pose. So for child's pose, take your knees wide out to the sides of your mat. You'll reach your fingertips to the top of the mat and then relax your forehead down to the earth. If your forehead is not coming down to the earth, you're welcome to use a block. Place your block on the lowest setting, and then you'll just put your forehead right on top of the block. Slowly begin to rise from your child's pose. If you're using a block, go ahead and set that off to the side. And then rotate to face the long end of your mat. Good. Once you're facing the long end of your mat, you'll want to bend both of your knees. So just get comfortable, bend both of your knees. You might want to take your knees a little bit further away from your body. Once your knees are bent, we'll start to lift our right ankle and place our right ankle right on top of our left thigh. Good. We're coming into seated figure four pose. In this pose, you can take your hands behind your hips with your fingertips facing away from your body. You're welcome to stay right here, or if you'd like a little bit deeper stretch, you can start to walk your left foot in closer to your body. You can also scoot your hips closer to your left foot. You should feel the stretch in your inner thighs and in your hips. Once you're in a comfortable position, if you'd like to add a little bit of movement here, you can slowly start to sway your legs from side to side. So this gentle movement will help to release and relax the inner thighs and hips. It will help us improve our flexibility. Good job. Let's do that one more time, each side. And then once you're ready, you can release your right ankle from your left thigh, and then just keep both of your knees bent. One more time, walk your feet a little bit further away from your body. We're going to gently windshield wiper our legs from side to side. So just allow your knees to fall from one side to the other. We're just releasing from that figure 4 stretch. Good. Once you're ready, we'll come to the opposite side. So you can just pause here, get your feet in position, find that spot that feels good to you. You might need to push your feet away from your body a little bit. And this time we will come to the opposite side. So once you're ready, we'll take our left ankle this time, place it on your right thigh. And then you're welcome to stay right here, or if you'd like a deeper stretch, you can start to walk your right foot a little bit closer to your hips. And also scoot your hips closer to your right foot to deepen the stretch. You can stay right here, or if you'd like to add that sway from side to side, you're welcome to that as well. Just adding that gentle movement to help increase and improve our flexibility. Nice job. Let's do that one more time from side to side. Then once you're ready, you can pause here, release your ankle, take your feet down to the ground. Keep your knees bent, take your knees a little bit further away from you. Gently start to sway the knees from one side to the other and windshield wiper your legs. Just releasing from that figure 4 hip stretch. Good, let's do that one more time, each side right here. Perfect. You can pause here. We'll begin to take our legs wide out into a straddle. So this is called straddle pose, and I want you to take a moment and see what's feeling good in your body. So your straddle pose, you might have your legs a little bit closer together. You should feel the stretch again in the inner thighs and hips. If you want a little bit deeper stretch and it's feeling good in your body, you can slowly walk the legs out a little bit wider. Good. You can take your hands behind you and then lift through the chest. Let's take a moment here, take a deep breath in through your nose, and then a long, slow exhale through the mouth. We'll do that one more time. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then a long, slow exhale through your mouth. Great. You can bring your legs in towards midline and then start to thread your legs behind you. Come up to tabletop position. You want to come up to your hands and your knees. In tabletop position, make sure your knees are stacked under your hips, and then make sure your wrists are stacked under your shoulders. Spread your fingertips out wide and take your gaze in front of you. We're going to do another round of cat-cows here. So on your next inhale, begin to lift your chest and take your gaze slightly up. As you exhale, round through your back. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your chest. Exhale, hollow out your belly, round through your back. Inhale and rise, come to cow pose. Exhale, round the back for cat pose. We'll do that one more time. Deep breath in, lift the chest. Exhale, slowly round through the back. Good, you can return to a neutral spine. So just come back to your tabletop position. From here, begin to curl both of your feet underneath you. So you're curling your toes under. Once your toes are curled under, you want to sit back onto your feet. We're coming into our toe squat. So you'll remember this from earlier in the class. We're stretching out that fascia from our feet all the way up our legs. We're really helping to improve our flexibility. Once your legs are in position, start to roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, and take your gaze in front of you. From here, slowly rotate your head and look over your shoulders. You can look over to your left shoulder, and then slowly rotate your head and look over your right shoulder. Good. You can bring your gaze back to midline, back to center. We'll come now to puppy dog pose. So for puppy dog pose, you'll start to reach both of your hands to the top of the mat. Good. Lift your hips and then start to bring your forehead as close to the earth as you can. It may not reach all the way down, and that's fine. Push into the palms of your hands to open your chest and keep your hips lifted. Once you're ready, slowly begin to rise and come back up to tabletop position. From here, we'll come into lizard pose. So for lizard pose, take your right foot in front of you. Take your right foot out at about a 45-degree angle, so it's pointed towards the corner of your mat. You can lengthen through your left leg if that feels good in your body. And then you can take both of your hands on the inside of your right foot. Remember, you can take your hands down to the mat, or if you're using blocks today, you're welcome to use the blocks to lift up your upper body. If your hands are on the mat or on the lower setting of your blocks, take your gaze down to the earth. Think about relaxing the head and the neck. You should feel the stretch in your inner thighs and hips. Think about sending your breath to the inner thighs and hips to release any tightness, any tension that you're holding in the hips today. Okay, let's take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your right foot to meet your left foot and come back to tabletop position. Once you're in tabletop position, gently begin to sway your hips from side to side and just release from that lizard Yin Yoga pose. Good, you can add some shoulders here and gently move your head and just find some organic movement. Once you feel complete, you can pause here in your tabletop position. We'll come to high plank pose. So for high plank pose, start to take your hands a little bit closer to the top of your mat. So just move your hands a little bit closer to the top of the mat, curl the toes under, and then lift your hips off of the mat. Engage through your abdominals. Remember, you have the option to keep your knees bent here. Listen to your body and then find the position that feels right to you, either with your knees bent or with your legs lifted. Start to engage through the abdominals. We'll stay here for a couple breaths. Remember, you might feel a little bit of heat in your body here as your body is starting to really actively work. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lower both of your knees down to your mat. And uncurl your toes, push the tops of your feet into the mat. Bend your elbows and take the forearms down to the mat. Lower yourself down onto your stomach. We're coming into Sphinx pose. So for Sphinx pose, think about squeezing your shoulders together and lifting your chest. There's a gentle back bend here. Good, let's take one more inhale. And as you exhale, we'll come to child's pose. So start to push yourself back. Take your knees wide out to the sides of your mat. Reach your fingertips to the top of the mat and relax your forehead down to the earth. Remember, you're welcome to use a block underneath your forehead if your forehead is not coming all the way down to the mat. Slowly begin to rise from your child's pose. You can face the long end of your mat. Come to a seated position and take your hands to prayer center. Thank you so much for doing that Yin Yoga inspired practice with me today. I hope to see you soon. Namaste.